Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Daily Smash for Friday morning, December 9th, 2022. I'm Rick.
I'm Kelly.
We are coming to you from Blazin Shabu restaurant in Garden Grove. We have a live audience who are eating behind us.
Yeah.
We got some Smash fans here,
My
some
5
Patreon
followers.
fans here. 5 million. The food is awesome here. We had a lot of beef. We had some seafood. All you can eat seafood. All you can eat ice cream.
Yes.
And Steve, the owner, says it's the only conveyor belt shabu restaurant in the entire state of California.
So, all of you guys over here have never had Shabu Shabu, right? No, but you have. No, everybody here, this is their first time.
First timers.
Woo! Thank you,
It's here for the first timers. Thank you for coming out, guys.
Thank you for coming out.
And people will be coming and going. It's okay.
Yeah.
The chaos is fine. The restroom is around the other side. So, and traffic is terrible.
You guys can come back and forth, too. You guys will be on YouTube.
If you guys haven't subscribed yet here on YouTube, please do so now. We really appreciate your support. We're trying to hit that 30K by the end of the week.
This is a fun restaurant to go to with kids, I think, too. Like
Yeah.
if you're having a party. Like, people don't know about Shabu Shabu.
So shabu is that the process of cooking it in that bowl? Is that what that means? We should ask Steve about it.
I don't know.
But
I
you
think
do-
it's like, I don't know.
They put the veg.
It's like the melting pot for Asian.
They put the. What is a melting pot?
Yeah. Remember that fondue place called the Melting Pot? It's like that.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
You have like a bowl and it's hot broth, and then you get the meat or the seafood, and you cook it in there with the veggies that come around on that conveyor belt.
And you put it in there, and you make your own soup. And you can make it to your liking. You put spices in there. You put garlic. You put onion. You put a whole bunch of stuff.
You put more stuff in yours than I put in mine.
I do. I like a lot of.
Because you're a chef and I'm not.
No, I just have a better palate. Just kidding.
Before I forget, because I have forgotten before, the Daily Smash is brought to you by El Cristiano Tequila. It's purity, passion, and promise in every bottle. You can learn more about El Cristiano at el-cristiano.com, and you can find the best prices on it at kegandbottle.com.
I kind of want some of that. I feel like I'm getting sick.
Can we get a couple of cups?
Cups.
Kelly's working through a cold.
Do you have a cup?
A couple of
cups.
small glasses, perhaps, for this delicious
I have
tequila.
a cold. It's been
And
cold
you're
here
you're
lately.
a trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm fine. I'm not sick. I just a little
A
cold.
little sick. I can hear it in your voice. Yesterday, we did a story about a new workout regime in San Francisco called Stoned and Toned, where the trainer like smokes weed and then works out and works people out when they're high.
And my brother Eric says that he does it all the time.
He did say that?
Yeah, he did.
So I'm like, Kelly was like, we have to try that. And so I'm going to reach out to the Stoned and Toned trainer to see if they're, by any chance, a Smash fan and want to be on our show, because I think that would be really funny.
Yeah.
That's, I hope, going to be on a future episode.
Do you know what all these people back here said to me?
What?
They said, I
Oh,
can't.
thanks.
Oh, I can't believe how tall you are.
Kelly's wearing 6-inch heels. That's why.
Well,
I mean, you are tall.
I'm tall. I'm 5'8", but with these high heels on, I'm a good 6 feet.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're pouring a little bit of this El Cristiano. I hope this makes you feel better. Cheers, baby.
Okay, cheers.
I have to ask Steve what it says on there.
What?
What it says on the cup.
My girlfriend,
Steve, come here for a second, will you?
these that right here, my girlfriend thought these looked like IV bags.
First of all, what are those?
What are these, Steve?
Here, Steve, pull up a chair right behind you. So we're on a short rope here. Can you hold that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, Steve, tell us about Blazin Shabu.
So, Blazin Shabu, yeah, the story is long. We're gonna make.
We don't have time for a long story.
Yeah,
Never mind.
no.
Tell us
Let's make
about
it
these
short.
bags with a straw in it. What's
looks
this
like
all
IV.
about?
These are promotional items. You know, they're really for soju, but we're like, okay, you know, let's just do for every soda today. You know.
Yeah, it says Blazin Shabu on there.
Is Shabu Shabu is that Korean?
It's kind of like a mix, really, Japanese, Chinese and Korean. It's all mixed. It just all depends how you say it. Hot pot is the same thing.
Hot pot.
Shabu is the same thing. So
Does
it's
the
just,
shabu refer? Oh, that's a hot pot. That's what it refers to.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
So you
it's the
just
same thing.
cook your own food.
Yeah, basically, yes.
That takes a lot of the work off of your shoulders. You don't have to cook.
It's the excitement of it
Yeah.
for the customer.
Yeah, it is.
Is this actually the only conveyor belt shabu restaurant? in
From what I know, in California, we are the only one. In Florida, there's a lot of them.
Oh, there
but
are.
In California, we're the first, conveyor shabu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we
wow.
appreciate you having us here.
Thank you.
The food was terrific.
It's a pleasure having you guys. I was excited to have you guys.
What was
here.
that?
We thought we were
last,
going to have more people.
What was
But
the?
there's traffic was bad.
Yeah,
What was the
yeah.
last steak you brought?
Oh,
What's
no.
that called? The Wagyu?
That's not for advertising.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's only special for you guys.
But
Thank you.
the Wagyu though, Wagyu you
Yeah,
have
it
here?
is. Yeah, we do have Kobe Wagyu, American Kobe Wagyu as an option B, or American choice meat. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Thank you again
so
for
you
having
guys
me.
have both.
Okay,
good.
thank you for giving us a special.
Thank you so
That
much.
was
guys.
delicious. And it was delish.
We're going to talk about the. Someone said we should review the Harry and Meghan doc on Netflix.
We watched two.
So we watched 2 of the episodes this afternoon before we came here, and we wanted to share our thoughts on it because some of you wanted to know what we thought of it. First and foremost, I hate that she calls him H.
I hate that he calls her M.
It's so stupid.
Right. She
When-
calls him H.
During the courtship, he invites her to join him in Africa, Botswana. He's there on a mission of some kind. And she actually claimed that she had to think about it.
She's an idiot. She's such a liar.
Like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to Africa and hang out with a prince in his tent for a week.
Yeah, right.
They're like the most famous prince in the world.
Yeah.
Like
She's
Mi-
full of crap.
I
I just think she's full of crap.
that was sort of my impression too.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he comes across as a pretty down to earth guy.
I think her mom comes off to be a sweet-hearted, lovely lady.
Yeah,
and
I
so
like-
it kind of makes you want to like Meghan Markle because her mom seems so nice and sweet. But this chick is a savage. You can see.
I think
She
she's
seems
all,
very smart.
She's smart. She wrote an amazing poem
Right.
when she was 12, I think, that she read, that she knew, she memorized it. She knew it by heart, that she wrote about being the child of divorce and about how having to go from one household to the other and back and forth. And I thought it was a really poignant, really well-written poem, especially for a 12-year-old.
I was a poet and didn't even know it. Bam! See?
But there are inconsistencies, and the New York Post brought some of them up. They claimed in their engagement interview with the BBC in 2017 that they were set up on a blind date. But in this documentary, Harry says they met on Instagram, that he was scrolling through his feed and saw her and wanted to meet her. So that was a discrepancy. Then there was some discrepancies about how he actually proposed and how that all went down. She also said that most of the time she was in the UK, I rarely wore color. But then they were like, no, you have vibrant colored outfits, including bright red, yellow, and green. I think the biggest dispute with their documentary, and Piers Morgan wrote this really lengthy editorial about it, was that he thinks they're full of it. That
I do.
she primarily is full of it. That they're making themselves out to be the biggest victims on the planet when they're living this dream life.
How about they're talking about them being in a gilded cage, and I just spoke about that.
With Tony.
Yeah, we're just talking. Remember, I told you guys about the gilded cage.
They said, we were never able to tell our story until now. Well, what about that 2-hour interview with Oprah?
Yeah, what about that one?
What about the magazine interviews you did?
That woke interview that you did with Oprah. Oprah.
And that was right and when they announced that Netflix gave them $100 million to do this documentary and other programming for Netflix.
Well,
So they struck it rich.
yep.
The Piers Morgan editorial says, the media, including me, only turned negative on Meghan and Harry after they married, and their behavior grew increasingly hypocritical as they preached poverty in tweets on the day she held a $500,000 baby shower in New York. used Elton John's private plane like a taxi service as they lectured us on reducing our carbon footprints and pleaded to be left alone as they gave primetime TV interviews. I mean, he really doesn't like them. He went off on them. And he thinks the show is...
I think most Brits don't like them.
Well, because they turned their back on royalty, right? They turned their back on what do they call that?
On their duties.
Yeah.
You know, have their duties.
He calls them whiny, delusional, self-serving, money-grabbing royal Kardashians, only with less class, loyalty, or brains.
Pretty much sums it up.
Are we going to watch the rest of it?
It was, after the second one, I was like, this is not interesting to me.
I mean, it's a total vanity project.
I think the only thing that was interesting to me was watching old films of Diana. Like, really, that was it. Like, you know, whether she was putting the thing. That was the only thing I found. Like, that Meghan Markle is no Princess Diana.
No.
At
But she
all.
compared herself to her, and so did her husband. And who's the other prince?
Harry? William?
William. William is apparently pissed because they didn't want that Diana interview to see the light of day after it was revealed that Martin Bashir pressured the family and Diana to do it, like using very unprofessional tactics. And they're like, the BBC said, we're not going to license this to anyone ever again. And yet there it is in the Netflix documentary.
They're just full of crap because they say they want their privacy and they want everything to be, but that yet they do a docuseries like this. That right then and there should just tell you everything that you know. They're full of crap.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
I think so, too.
That in a nutshell.
In the news now.
In the news.
Brittany Greiner, as I'm sure you've heard by now, has been released from a Russian prison in a swap for the Merchant of Death. And what everyone's talking about, a lot of people are talking about in reaction to this, is that there's still a former U.S. Marine being held in a prison in Russia who has been there for 4 years.
Why aren't they getting him out? Why don't they swap him for another arms dealer? Just kidding. I'm just joking.
Do you have any other arms dealers locked up?
Yeah, do you have any?
Paul Whelan has been held in Russia for nearly 4 years on trumped-up espionage charges, it says here. On Thursday, Biden insisted the swap was not a choice of which American to bring home. We've not forgotten about Paul Whelan. We will keep negotiating in good faith for his release. They said it was either a choice...
So Paul Whelan was a spy.
Well, no, he says he wasn't a spy, that he was accused of being a spy. But he said it was a politically motivated accusation. He's not a spy. He was just arrested and then thrown in prison.
Okay.
Brittany Greiner, as you may or may not remember, didn't take the floor for the national anthem during the Phoenix Mercury's debut in the WNBA bubble on Saturday, and that carried on, I believe.
Look, it quoted per the Arizona Republic. That's where I used to work for 5 years.
Brittany Greiner said, I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our season. I think we should take that much of a stand. She said, I'm not going to be out there for the national anthem. If the league continues to want to play it, that's fine. It will be all season long. I'll not be out there. And what I want to know is, will she stand for the anthem now?
Yeah, I want to know.
Now that America has gotten her out of a Russian prison for breaking Russian law, she did violate their law, which all these athletes know.
I don't understand why these anti-Americans live in America. Get the F out.
I mean, America made her a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I understand you want to talk, you speak out. That's why, we can all speak out. That's fine. But I hope that she shows some gratitude and respect for
our country.
Yeah. And I think that she should stand for the anthem because the anthem represents the nation that's given her all of these rights and freedoms and got
opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities and got her out of prison. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. Coming up this afternoon, more from Blazin Shabu, including your solutions for Kelly's shoulder problem.
Oh, yeah.
We
I
have
got a million of them.
A long list of people.
I even got one person that said, don't eat vegetables.
We also have some bad news about Celine Dion and an update on those baggage handlers in Australia who were tossing your luggage around.
They all
like
got
it was
the
trash. But that's it for the morning edition. We hope you enjoyed it. We are grateful to Blazin Shabu for hosting us.
Yes.
And thank you all for being so quiet back there. We'll be right back. I mean, we'll be back later today, so stay tuned.